Hadouken! 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 Hadouken!
Street Fighter Alpha.
Hello, my friends, and welcome to episode 36 of One Credit Classics. Street Fighter, the series, we've seen a lot of the games so far, and Street Fighter 2 was where it all changed, where it all hinged. It created a genre kind of all for itself, and everything that people expected, everything that people thought they knew about beat-em-ups kind of changed instantly when Street Fighter 2 came out. This game we're going to be looking at this week, Street Fighter Alpha, or Street Fighter Zero if you play the Japanese version, which is coincidentally why when this screen goes there you see a Z, because the Japanese version was called Street Fighter Zero. Came out in June 95, and it's the next game after Street Fighter 2 and its many sequels. But here's the thing, it's a bit complex. The timeline, it's actually set before Street Fighter 2, but after Street Fighter 1. Hence why if you play Street Fighter 1, you know Sagat hasn't got the scar on his chest. If you play Street Fighter Alpha, as you can see there, the time I want it, you see he has got the scar on his chest. And then Street Fighter 2 is in the canon, is after this. That's why in the later versions they brought in characters from different games and characters who were around before Street Fighter 2. So for example, the biggest example is Charlie, who plays like Guile, who's Guile's friend, who Guile then enters the tournament Street Fighter 2 to kind of avenge. This was an expansion in a lot of respects, and it really kind of set the wagon rolling really with Capcom in terms of these kind of beat-em-ups, these cartoonish style, and they went on to do a lot like this, X-Men Children of the Atom, Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter Darkstalkers, these kind of big, brash animated titles. This followed on from Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo in terms of characters had super moves, but they had multiple super moves and they could be done at 3 different levels. The working title for this, interestingly enough, was Street Fighter Legends, and it's a game that, once again, as I said with the Tekken reviews that we've seen, a funny time for the arcades really. This came out on the PlayStation and it came out on the Saturn, and it was one of those versions once again where you saw the home console versions had a bit of an edge, a bit of more things to offer the player really. This was the first game that featured Dan, who went on to become kind of a bit of a cult figure really. It also featured Akuma, M. Bison, a load of good characters. You see a few the start of Capcom crossing over a few characters here. Guy, you see, is from the Final Fight games. It also, interestingly enough, had a dramatic battle mode, which was 2 players versus 1. You could be Ryo and Ken versus Bison, which was a lot of fun when you actually played it. This game's one of those ones where you could see that Capcom had kind of a winning formula. They developed, like I say, and they kind of designed the ethos of the one-on-one beat-em-up. But this is a part of the series that I'd say not a lot of people played, but it came out at a funny time. People were migrating to titles like Tekken and Virtua Fighter and 3D fighters of that nature. But this title really showed that Capcom still had a lot to do with 2D fighting games, and there was a great deal more kind of expansion really that they could take the territory in. So what we're going to do is I'm going to have a look. I'm going to be using Sagat for this clear because he's so overpowered in this. And we're going to try and win the whole thing. There's 8 people to fight against. And if I get more than a certain number of super combo finishes, there is kind of a hidden character. So I'll have a crack at that and see. I'm not promising anything because it's nails to him on this. But we'll see what we can do. Let's get started, shall we? Let's make this happen. As I said, for this clear, I will be using Sagat. There's a random select on this. And if you look closely enough, you'll see there are kind of some hidden characters. So Bison in there and Akuma and a few others. But yeah. We'll go Sagat, and we will go normal speed on this. So, Birdie to start with. A character from Street Fighter 1. Very, very incapable of blocking fireballs. Also, you can see on this that the damage of everything really is kind of up. Just kind of normal moves really kind of hurt quite a lot. The sickest thing about Sagat, however, is that the Tiger Uppercut. 7 hits. Absolutely ridiculous. Nice, I'm happy with that. He's always pretty stupid in all fairness. He absolutely rinse me now, watch. I'm gonna... Nice. Right. Got him. I mean, I'm happy with that. classic Street Fighter brick wall learning curve coming up, though. Who's up next? Rose. One of the newer characters. She's pretty good, to be honest. Alright. We'll play the spamming game, love. Oh, it just does so much damage. Ugh. Oh, nice. Parried it. I mean... Beautiful. As I said in the intro, I'll try and get as many of them as possible, because the more that you get, the more... I think you need 10. So if there's... What's that? 16 rounds if there's 8 characters, so you need to try and get... You only missed kind of a couple. That's so hard on this. Hey up. Hey up, settle down. That ruin? Right. Right. She's here. Let's go for the controversially named Tiger Genocide if I can hit it. Hey up. Or not. Oh, rubbish. So how many's that? That's still pretty cool though. So that's 2 finishes out of 4, so I can't really miss anymore. I have to rub it in, mate. She only beat you twice. Right. Oh, guy quality. Music's dead good in this as well. Oh, here he is. No. Just does so much damage. Right, I better start playing properly. I didn't mean to do that. Oh, God. I really struggle here. Well, not struggle, but like struggle to get the 10th thing he finishes. I'm pretty sure I'll have to try and get... I can't work it out. I'm rubbish at maths on the fly. Guy's really cool on this. He's got a load of interesting stuff. You see him thinking for Final Fight as well in the later versions of Alpha. Cody. Hey up, powerbomb. Settle down. I didn't expect Sagat to be so strong in the clinch. Right. Right. See if we can get this. See. Oh, sorry. Oh, as if he blocked that. Oh, come on. Right, I'll have to stop focusing on trying to get 10 finishes and just focusing on getting 10 wins, eh? Yeah, I get that. Just dicking around. Right. Oh, come on. Right, I'm struggling here. Oh, I don't need this. Oh, come on. God almighty. Right, so 10 super combo finishes off the table, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just leave that, like, for some kind of Saturday achievement run, alright? Let's just try not to die. Oh, I forgot she got 5 on there. Come on. Hey up. Stand off then, and we're both like, oh yeah. Don't play the fireball game, eh? You probably don't, love. God almighty. Let me pull my finger out here. Jump in. Or not. Sagat on this has actually got 3 super combos. He's got like the Super Tiger Fireball, he's got the Tiger Genocide, and he's got one that's like he do with kicks, where he does like a jumping spinning back kick that catches fire. That's pretty sick as well. There you go. You just block. I'm just gonna spam Tiger uppercuts now. There you go. It's just so sick. Not bad score either, to be honest. Yeah, I won't brag about it, mate. Probably had about 200 pounds on it. Here he is. Oh, was he in there? I thought he didn't come until the next one. Oh. But yeah, plays exactly like Guile. Obviously, he's the one who Guile enters the Street Fighter 2 tournament to avenge. If you actually finish it with him on Street Fighter Alpha 2, or I think it's... Oh, you should probably finish it on this one. I don't know, actually, I can't remember. I know one of them, if you finish it with him, like, you get shot by Bison at the end. Trash. That's so cheap. You'll notice that the win markers that you get, can you see that one there is like a lump of cheese with an S and a star. S is special move. S star is super special move. Anything with a lump of cheese is like when they've got no energy to block. Basically. So if you like, if they've got no energy and you throw a fireball at them and they block it and it kills them, you get it. Hey up. Oh god. What the hell that is? Rubbish. Right, I've had a slow fireball into death. Come on. That's so cheap. Still, what are you going to do? Bragging a lot, Sagat, really. I mean, who's next? Oh, Protege. Adam's quite good on this. You see all these moves do a load of damage. Oh, really good jump range as well. Come on. Come on. I thought he jumped right into that. Oh, beautiful. So yeah, just got a V for that, which just means victory, which basically means you just won. There we go. That's it, the Tiger Knee one. Oh, he's got level 3 level super energy. I might struggle. Play this one. Oh! Might be worth saving me super combo energy because I've got a lot of health to make back up on this. The problem with him is like all his moves kind of have him diving in a range, so like it's really hard to try and maintain a good distance game with him. Unless he's just stupid, but he's not very often. As I say that, he's walked into quite a few there. Come on. That's so cheap. I'll probably get a cheese for that. Of course I will. Amazing. Yeah, I wouldn't be laughing about that. That was ridiculous. It'll take more than you to best me. Well, there you go. Who's next? Oh, Ken and Ryu, is it? Might struggle here. Then again. Sagat's so sick on this. Also, as well, you notice in mid-air blocks, which was something that you couldn't do in other Street Fighter games. It's essential in here, really, because everybody can do so much damage. But it's a nice kind of innovation, really. See if he... That's too early. Oh. Nice. I try for Tiger up, got him rolled the other way. not too bad. Steady. Right. That's nice 2 shots there. Beautiful. I really struggle to get out of the corner here. Bit of variation. Spamming his super energy up as well. You know what's going on, don't you? Oh, I was going to say he just could get it by. Oh, that's rubbish. I was trying to do what's it? Tag a genocide and messed it up. Oh. Still, win's a win. And on to the last. You scarred me and sealed your fate. Now the scales will be balanced. What's Ryu saying? You took my honor and I'll destroy you. Bloody hell. You just don't get it, do you? Shut up, I won't lose this time. I plan on dictating the range, jumping back and fireballing you to death. Oh, bloody hell, that hit. Come on. We need to make this up here. Oh, come on, as if you got me through that. I'm done here. Yeah. Oh, Jesus. That was tough. Right, let's do it. Right. He's gonna block that. Oh no, he didn't. That's handy. I need to block that either. Hey up. I didn't want I didn't want any part of that. God, that would have absolutely wiped me out. To proper try and just get past him like this. No. Oh God, that is so much. See if he tries fireball through it. Sometimes he does, you see. I don't like this at all. Try and get him in a fireball wall and then blast him with a super one like that. Keep your pen back. Dangerous this is because he could proper just shoot a super fireball at me. Hey up. Nice. He's gonna do super fireball when he lands. Or at least try to. That would have killed him as well. Bollocks. Nice. And that, my good friends, is 1 credit as advertised. Slightly closer than I'd like, if I'm being honest. Revenge is a dish best served cold. But now that I have defeated Ryu, why do I feel so empty? Why do you look at me with pity? Ryu is a man of honor. Perhaps he held back. Ryu would not do that, would he? I must know if he fought with all his strength. Sagat, give up this foolish vendetta. You've won. Now, Sagat, if you wish to be feared, you must master Psycho Power. And I can speak. And that is how it ends. Another one of those Street Fighter games that the kind of the hardcore played, but this kind of sequence and this series went on and on and on. There was Street Fighter Alpha 2, 3. A lot of people that I speak to, I've got good kind of memories about this series, and it's an interesting, as I always say, like it's an interesting time in arcades really. And for me personally, how it worked for me was I'd played this in an arcade maybe once or twice and loved it, but it was my brother actually bought it on the PlayStation 1, and I really enjoyed it, really enjoyed it. And then I think, I'll tell you what happened after that. It would be about 1999, something like that, when the Dreamcast was just coming out, and the price of the Sega Saturn like absolutely plummeted. And here he is. You are Sagat Master. Your skill has not gone unnoticed. Well, probably a crowd of people around the arcade if you're that good. But anyhow. Yeah, so in about 1999, when I was at university, a good friend of mine, Mr. Daniel Sanzeri, who I hope's watching this, we both had Sega Saturns because they were just so cheap. I remember buying one, I want to say Christmas 99. My parents bought me one for Christmas, and I know, like, I used to see them in the paper at that time all the time because people were just selling them off, and you could get a Saturn for about 40 quid with a load of games. So I had a Saturn, I started collecting games and started getting into it, and Street Fighter Alpha 2 on the Saturn was one of the best fighting games, the best home conversion of a fighting game I've ever seen. Because the PlayStation had some limitations when it came to 2D beat-em-ups. Loading times on Street Fighter Alpha 2, particularly on the PlayStation, were pretty terrible. You were talking sometimes, while it did disc access, 30 and 40 in a minute sometimes between fights, whereas the Saturn one was just so much better. There was just none of that, and that went on really whenever you saw the Saturn became known as the fighting game, kind of 2D fighting game system really. You play X-Men Children of the Atom, or you play the Street Fighter series, or King of the Fighters, or any of the games like that. I mean, the Saturn could do 3D stuff. You see like Last Bronx and Virtua Fighter and Fighters Megamix, but the 2D stuff, it did way better than the PlayStation. And myself and Dan used to play Street Fighter Alpha 2 all the time, because you could use like a Shin Akuma on that. It was stupidly powerful, and you could kill people in like 4 or 5 hits. It was just loads of fun. That whole time, kind of 98 to 2001, when I was at university, me and Dan played a lot of video games, and it was a really good time, to be honest with you. I look back at it now and think to myself, like, pretty much all. That's why I got a rubbish degree in the end, to be honest with you. I only ended up with a third, because realistically all I was doing is kind of going out, sort of being in bands, and just playing loads of old video games, really. I remember I had loads of good stuff on the Saturn. I had Shining Force 3 and Shine in the Darkness, and not Shine in the Darkness, Shine in the Holy Ark, excuse me, and Dragon Force, and loads of good stuff. Saturn was such an underrated console. But yeah, this series, the Alpha series, is one that I played. I want to say I played Alpha 3 on the Dreamcast. I think me and my good friend Rez at the time, we used to play a lot of Alpha 3, yeah. So I did enjoy that. And I've always liked the series, and I always thought that it'd be cool to kind of do one of those, really. This is one of those games where I would say to you, it's out on so many different formats, and it's kind of the genesis of this. You think this came out in 95. There's a big number of years with a lot of games out there. Get yourself into it. Get yourself to if you can get one of the original systems, it's always the best in it. But I mean, the main versions of this and Alpha 2 run really well, and it's just so much fun. Like they had to do something different with Street Fighter, and it's kind of different but the same, but it's the same in all the best elements, if that makes sense. And that's why it's so good. I'm gonna go now, drink some tea, work out what to do next, and figure out if I will ever beat R-Type. No, I'm joking. But yeah, the R-Type effect though. I don't know where I'm at. I say that I don't know where I'm at subscribers wise. I really don't. But when I recorded this, I want to say I was on kind of 270 odd, maybe 278, something like that. And I've had so many people join since R-Type, and there's a lot of achievement runs since then. So everybody who's new, who's watching, I hope you really enjoy this. Drop me a line if you've got any games that you want to see me take a look at. Because what I'm going to look at doing is like I did last time. I'm going to do until episode 39. And then I'll probably take a bit of a break, and in that time I'll record some long play stuff and quite a few other bits and pieces in episodes, and then when I come back there'll be a lot of content for you. So okay, take very good care of yourselves, and I will see you good people soon.